My mom used to tell me something, Chidi, right? She used to tell me, never leave a room dumber than you came in.
Oh, that's golden gems.
Like she used to tell me, like, because I will see my mom ask questions a lot.
Yeah.
Like she will, if she's not clear about something, she will ask, oh, so why are you doing this way? Why? So I asked her, why do you do that? I said, if you leave a room dumber than you came in, you've not achieved anything. And I think, I've been in meetings whereby I ask a lot of questions. And I think because I like to be clear, I need to go something and go do it. I don't like to be, and I'll ask those questions and we get out of the meeting. Somebody will, oh, thank you for asking that question. I was like, so, but why didn't you ask? And I think maybe is the psychological safety.
Yep.
Of the environment. So I think leaders should also create a psychological safe environment for people to be able to ask those questions. Right. And I think that is really important as well. So I think, from what we've spoken so far, the leaders need to be able to make sure that if I was the employee and I said this, right, and I said this if somebody said this to myself, is it clear? Right. Yeah. And the employee should also look and say, hey, if I was the leader, if I wasn't clear, would I want you to be asked questions? I think sometimes we need to have empathy on each other, both the leaders and employees, and be able to ask those questions. I think it goes both ways. And I think, but what's your thought on that, on having that switch of roles sometimes?
Yes, to be honest, the reason you probably asking questions is because even as an employee, you're a leader. Leadership is not only reserved for your bosses. No, you're a leader as well. You're a leader of your own career. You should lead yourself, right? So that said, you should definitely ask questions, because if you're not clear where you're going to, how are you going to lead others? However, the bulk of it as well actually falls on the leader in that context, to actually create that environment where there is that understanding that there would not be any potential repercussion, or the leader himself doesn't feel slighted by an employee questioning their instructions, because questions can actually lead to more answer or perspective that have never been thought about. And I know it's tough for some people, especially employees who find themselves in situations where they are not really sure. If you find yourself in that circumstances, I would recommend that you see ways within which you could ask that question without actually coming across as being very disrespectful. But the bulk of it actually falls on the leader to create that environment, the situations around the employee, around the individual, to actually perform and for positive outcomes within an organization.
Now, you propose some ways, some practical steps if people are, but there's one I really love. It said, ask someone to repeat the plan back to you in their own words.
Yeah.
That's a gem right there.
Yeah, honestly, the way I think about it is, when I go to class, for example, and I could sit for 2 hours just listening to the professor going through the content, and I think I'm assimilating a lot directly, but the reality is I am not, because in that time frame, my mind is going through different things. Like I could even see something on social media, I'm distracted, something is happening, I think about something that happened in the past, and for that period, I've missed out something. However, if I sit down there and I'm writing something in my own words, I'm kind of thinking about it, and I am producing something out of it. So that means I've taken time to think deeply about what's going on at the time. And now this is my own way of expressing it. So that's why it's good to ask them, or ask your employees to actually repeat what has been said. It's a way of drawing that engagement. Sometimes you might notice that the employee is absent-minded, but when you ask that question, you kind of trigger something in them to think about being present at that time. So they now take it as, oh, this boss is going to probably ask me to restate what he just said, so I need to listen, and that's the first step. The second step then is you then have the opportunity to clarify any misconception from the person's own repetition of what has been said. So it gives you opportunity to be on the same page right at the outset.
Yeah. No, that's very clear. You're so wise above your age, man. You're so wise. Hey, this is a reading, podcast. So I'm going to, just shout out some books that I think can help leaders. The new 1 Minute Manager. The 1 Minute Manager. 1 Minute Manager is by Ken. The new 1 Minute Manager by Ken Blanchard and Spencer Johnson. I read it. It's a really good book. And this talks about, giving 1 minute goals, dissecting goals, into 1 minute goals, designed to set clear expectations and precise instructions. Don't make it too long. Make it something that somebody can talk to you back in 1 minute, right? Yeah. Emphasize productivity and increase in employees, exactly what is expected of them and receive immediate feedback, right? From them, which is what you said. The other one is Dare to Lead by Brené Brown. She talks about like clarity is kind. Unclear is unkind. If you want to be kind to your people, be clear about what you achieve. Don't feel like, oh, I've said it, and then, expectations is unkindness and leads to resentment and poor performance. If you don't set clear expectations, people will resent you and it will lead to low performance. And the other one that I really like is Radical Candor. It's a book that I really talk about right now, and challenging directly. And I think that's the question we talked about. It talks about balancing caring personally and challenging directly, and you letting your people challenge you as well and around questions. Those are 3 good books that I would just love to recommend. And I think they're just great books. So, Chidi, this is about what book have you read lately, or something that you've read lately that you just want to share with people?
Okay. So I have this book I'm going through right now. It's not
The Mind of the Strategy?
Yeah, The Mind of the Strategist. So it's not a new book. It's one of those old books by one of Mackenzie's great strategists from Japan. So it has a lot of gems about how Japanese strategize for businesses. I'm loving it. So, and I'll recommend this to anyone anytime. Yeah, so
I actually just finished the Japanese book, Ikigai and Kanzai. And it's a really great book. And it talks about, I'm actually going to do a podcast on it very soon. It's actually a really great book as well. Japanese have a lot of great knowledge. I think they are, their knowledge is so cool. Now, Chidi, it's really great talking to you. I know this is going to be our last time coming together because I know one day I'm going to see something else on your page that's just going to, I would want to talk about. But, I've loved seeing you. Just be you and be authentic and, shine across everything you do. And I'm really proud of you. I remember meeting you 15 years ago and working together, and I knew you were going places. But, where you're going, it's really, really great for me. And I just want to say thank you for coming on Reading with Ayo. And let's keep connected, man. I love you, man. I love you, brother. I really enjoyed just connecting with you again. And nice talking to you.
Oh, awesome. It's likewise as well. I've actually followed your work. Your podcast actually motivates me. I was like, wow, it has a lot of episode of reading books. I know, but it actually motivates me, honestly. And I can't say how much your impact has been in my life and my professional growth. That actually started with you and the foundation you laid. And I hope I will continue to make you proud. One thing I say is any intern that works with me, I remember my experience with you. And I always try to give them that same level of support that you did give to me so many years back. And thank you so much, Ayo, for inviting me.
Thank you. And for the viewers, thank you for listening to us, and we'll see you another episode of Reading with Ayo. Take care. Bye.